Maybe we should have some alcohol.
No, we're not doing that again. We're not doing that again. It's episode 15. It's technically a milestone, but we're not doing that again.
Is it a milestone?
15 is a milestone. It was a milestone for Senna. He loved 15. So that might be the new intro now. Hello and welcome to Talk Shift. Now, first question, very important question. So, are you ready? This came up on I think actually it wasn't even the Talk Shift video. It was one of the FP1 videos I put out this week. And it was in the live chat. Question, is Soheb a call centre or a trade centre guy?
So people, they only have race jokes for me, I guess.
That's the only angle they go for. Yeah, 9/11 at least had two angles. One came from the top, one came from the never mind. Anyway, what do you think? Call centre, trade centre? What's floating your boat? What's flying your plane?
What other kind of centres are there? I think I'm the centre of the universe, personally.
Okay. Yeah. There's rehabilitation centres, which is where we need to send you to.
I think so, actually. So all my friends have been considering, like, what do I have? It's not ADHD. It's not autism. The best they can say is Soheb
what have you not got, which is a brain?
Because it doesn't make sense, any of them, because like they're just some things.
Things don't make sense if you haven't got a brain.
It's some of those traits that I just don't have. So they've just started saying that I have Soheb syndrome because
your own thing.
Because I am one of one.
If you also think you have Soheb syndrome and you want to come on the podcast, chat to us, send us an email, talkshiftpods@gmail.com. I don't think that's right. Talkshiftfp1@gmail.com. It's below here now. Drop us an email. We've got one to read out later on as well.
Oh, yeah.
They have one angle for you. They have one angle for me as well. This came up after the last episode, which is lovely. And I think that's wrong because can we actually start by talking about Fit P1, Will, for a minute? Okay, because obviously I was at this WTF talent event on Tuesday, and that post has kind of done the rounds now a little bit. Just saying, I'm really proud of myself. It's amazing what sucking in your stomach and a slim fit shirt can do.
I'm proud of you as well. Your Photoshop skills has really improved.
Well, the Discords haven't, because we have got that as part of our fan art. We'll get to more later this week, but I'm gassed. My ego has hit new levels this week after reading the comments under that one. I'm
trying to raise my ego higher and higher every time.
Mm-hmm.
But so
it's hard because you're getting wider and wider every time. I'm getting smaller and you're getting bigger. It's like the weight is transferring over.
Did I make the joke about regressing already and hitting my peak last week? I can't even remember.
I think we hit our peak around episode 7, episode 8, to be honest.
We
hit our peak with that fan fiction from a few weeks ago.
That was peak.
That was peak.
And my reading was peak, and your editing was peak. Yes. I can't lie.
Yeah. Now you just sort of peak here.
I'm not
instead.
Fat.
It's all those meal deals, mate.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But
if the viewers want to start making fat jokes about me, then subscribe to our Patreon so I can get more meal deals.
And of course, Patreon version probably over 20 minutes this week. I think we've done a lot for the Patreon version.
It's quite
£1 a month, and we're plugging it this early. Yes. But I want to talk a little bit more about this event in general, because I've never been invited to one of these things before. I can't think why.
Yeah.
Can't think why I've never been invited to an influencer event before. It's almost like I'm a little bit controversial. But hey, one of the first things that was said to me, actually, and I think it was Tomo. It was Tomo, of all people, where I bumped into him and he was just like, mate, you're not doing anything with F1. You're not going to any F1 races this year. And he's so right. Like, I'm talking to all these creators, a lot of them actually smaller than me. And they're like, oh, well, are you being invited back to Silverstone? I'm like, no. I wonder why. But I'm not like I'm complaining, because I mean, I do very well out of FP1 and it's great. But it was funny. And like, people obviously, you could tell some people did watch Talk Shift. There were a couple that came up and said, oh, I'm one of the 5,000. And I was like, that's pretty cool. But I would go up to people, and I think it was Pondon. Do you know who Pondon is? Great. Well, streamer.
Yeah.
And I went up to him and I was like, oh, you're all right, mate. He's like, yeah, are you okay? He had no idea who I was. So I was like, oh, yeah, Will, FP1. And I don't think he heard me. So he still just sort of looked confused. And then later on, he followed me on Instagram. So I thought, okay, I think maybe he's worked out who I was at this point. But there was just sort of this awkward set of glances around the group of like, who the fuck is this guy?
I mean, that must have taken you back to how talking to your crushes were like in school, right?
Yeah, great. Okay, good. That's the other bit of news. Your boy is single again.
What a surprise!
Your boy is single again.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you told me in the podcast live.
Because I was told to bring something up because I've heard from a little birdie that you may be talking to somebody. That's what I was told. There was somebody you were talking to.
Who said this?
A certain friend of ours, just a mutual friend. Apparently, he's seen a photo as well. So I was convinced she was imaginary, but I hear that you are on the market and chatting to potential partners.
I mean,
you like Max Verstappen.
This girls do like it when you're in a relationship because they like stealing you away from them, right?
So I'm still in a relationship, as a heads up. No, but yeah, it's been a fun week for me, basically. But I mean, congratulations to you. If you're not willing to admit it now, then yeah, fair enough. But
okay,
but yeah.
I'm a bit perplexed right now.
Okay, I mean, sure. I've been told that I don't know. Just what I'm hearing, but anyway, yeah. This event though was quite cool, and I'm thinking other people that I met. Law VS, I met him for the first time. Top class lad, really really nice guy. Matt Amos, who I've spoken to and I've met before, and I'm now convinced he didn't know who I was the first time we met, because admittedly it was like 2 years ago at Hungary, and I was one of several creators, Tomo as well, who were invited down by a ticketing company. And they were sat basically a row ahead of me. And I thought, I'm just going to go over there and pray they know who I am.
Yeah.
And I went in and Tomo knew who I was. And Matt was just like, oh, yeah, you're right, mate. And then I bumped into him again at this event. And I was like, oh, you're right, Matt. How's it going? He was like, yeah. Who are you? And I was like, Will, FP1. Oh, yeah. And then he recognized. I thought, we've met before. And you probably had no idea. You were just being so polite. But again, really nice guy. There weren't many people there. I'm really annoyed. I was kind of hoping that I'd have like this drama section where I could say, oh, so and so's an arsehole, and we could just sort of build up some more views and drama off that. But everyone was really lovely.
Oh man,
yeah.
What we need is a YouTube rivalry.
We do.
And then we can make a YouTube rap battle.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a good idea. Can you rap?
No.
Right. Okay.
Oh wait, but F1 YouTube. Why don't we have a karting battle?
That's a better idea. That's a much better idea. Yeah. And I'm great with karting because I've got a lot of downforce, so it's all good.
All right, Tomo, you're a prick.
Oh God. I did say,
viewers, clip that and send it to Tomo.
So I did tell him that I was like, my co-host loves you, right? I was like, it's great, and then he said I should come on at some point. And I was like, that's a great idea, but we're just not going to tell you. One day you're going to walk in and Tomo will be sat in that chair. Thumbnail sorted at that point. So now I'm going to leave you with that.
Damn.
There is one last thing I want to talk about with
right
that.
Now.
Okay. There is one last thing I want to talk about, right? Because this event was sponsored by, well, I thought it was pronounced Castor, apparently. And in true influencer fashion, we got goodie bags at the end of the event of free stuff. Now, I am very sorry to somebody at this event because I think I picked up your goodie bag by mistake. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to be a couple of minutes. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah.
All right, viewers. It's just you and me. So, Will is a virgin. Shh, don't tell him. Don't let him know I told you that. But he's actually really embarrassed about it. And the girl he was going out with, she said that you're just too big for me, and I can't imagine. Yeah.
So I know I've lost a lot of weight. And like I'm sucking my stomach in at this point as well.
That is not the look. That is definitely not the look.
There we go.
Is that going to be my present? Because you can't fit in.
You can't fit in this either. I'm convinced you can't.
I'll be able to fit in that.
I can only suck my stomach in for so long. Shall I let my stomach suck out?
Oh dear. I can fit in that easy.
You think you can fit in that?
Easy.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've already promised I'd give it to my mum. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a woman's small. So, big thank you to Castor, and I'm very, very sorry to whoever it was. Someone's now got like they've let's be honest, they've given me an extra large.
Yeah.
So there's some like poor Instagram influencer
Small girl.
who was like, who has now got like a blanket that she can wear.
I don't think that's a good look for Red Bull either.
It's really not. I mean, it's just I'm going to take it off before it just rips into a million pieces. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you were saying to the camera, but carry on with that.
So that was his last one. And the girl before that, so he did actually pull out his willy, and then she was like, where is it? This folds above it. And then she couldn't even see it, and then she walked out. And I was there for that one actually. Me and Will in the same room for that. So it's a bit sad, to be honest. I'm trying to root for him, but also it's really funny when he when Will fails. I think that's one thing everyone agrees on, is that when Will fails, it just brings people together. And I have actually made good friends, because when he fails, people I've known total strangers, I'd be like, "Oh, do you bully Will?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and then we become friends. It's a really, really exciting thing, and I think that's kind of what brings you viewers together, I guess, is bullying Will. And you're starting to bully me, but I think bullying Will is a lot of fun. So I think you should keep going. Oh, what other stories to tell about Will?
Yeah, that's it for
stories. You're going to like editing this.
I don't know what you were saying. I heard something about bullying me in stories.
Yeah.
So nothing new then.
Yeah, of course.
Great, good. Well, let's move on. We've talked about that event. A lot going on in London this week, including McLaren Live. Did you get down to this?
No, I didn't. It sold out within about an hour.
I don't think it sold out. It was just like absolutely rammed.
Yeah.
If you went in the evening, it was fine. And what I didn't realise is, because I guess McLaren fans, universally known for being incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
You got out of, I think it was Charing Cross Station, and you walked over to the entrance that you saw, and like the queue like goes out of the exit. Like you can see by that photo, they had like airport style barriers.
Yeah.
And it was filling all of those and then curving round down near like the art gallery. I think it's an art gallery. This is Trafalgar Square, isn't it? I don't know.
I think so.
Whatever that big building is that gets,
not the M&M building.
Not the what?
M&M building.
What's the M&M building?
What do you mean? What's the M&M building?
Right, we're getting off topic here already. This is not good for a bumper episode of the podcast.
Pause.
Oh no! What is the M&M building? Today was not the day where we needed to sit there and.
It's just
waffle.
a massive. It's in Covent Garden. Never mind, I'm lying.
Okay, right. So not only have you just waffled over there on an episode where we cannot afford to waffle, you're also wrong.
Yeah,
brilliant.
I wasted everyone's time.
Anyway,
I'm still wasting people's time.
Getting back to my story. Shut up. Getting back to my story.
Go on.
Right. So I get out to the station and I see this massive queue, and I'm thinking, oh Christ. So I go and join that queue, and then some very nice man came by and said, "You do realise there's just another entrance that's completely empty on the other side." So I thought, I'll give that a go. So I went round, and again, that photo was the image of the entrance where they're not even using that barriers, whereas they was curved around the corner on the other one. So the McLaren fans hadn't thought to go around. From the outside, I won't lie, I thought it looked like a building site, like with all of like the barriers they had up. When you get inside, really, really cool. Like I properly rated it. The final thing, which I just find absolutely hilarious, is they were banning one thing. One thing was banned.
Bottles.
Bottles were banned. There you go. That's the desk on the way in. And they're just confiscating bottles.
But Lando was allowed on the stage.
And he's got 20 of them. I don't get it. But I just think that's so iconic.
That is pretty
And then,
funny.
of course, I'm fuming because the way Twitter works, I put this tweet out, it gets 800 likes, right? The tweet I put out, let me just find the exact wording.
I did actually see the tweet.
Bottles are banned from the McLaren event. I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's called subtly putting the joke in there. Okay. And people understood that. 800 likes. So not bad, right? Not bad. There was then someone who retweeted it. If I just find the retweet, let's see if I can, or it was a quote tweet, I should say. Here we go. 7.1 thousand likes. Was Norris not allowed in then? What are you adding to that? 7.1 thousand likes.
Because I saw that tweet and I was like, oh, wait, that's you.
Yeah. So I bet you don't even follow me on Twitter either, do you? Right, there's your answer, ladies and gentlemen. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. But I'm like, someone's just gone and basically made my joke more obvious, which I guess the McLaren fans probably needed.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, I think also the Twitter fans need, because you know how Twitter is.
That's my mistake. And to be fair, I was wandering around. I was like, yeah, you can tell this is a place for McLaren fans. So you would have fit right in. Actually.
Lando said that he wanted it to be like a party.
It was a bit like that. In that everyone looked drunk already, even though they probably weren't, but and had opinions that suggested that they were anyway. But it was. To be fair though, it was really, really good. They had the Lego car there. They had the MP44. They had the new McLaren livery for this weekend, which is stunning.
The chrome,
The VCarb livery, less so. Have you seen the VCarb livery?
Do you not like it?
It looks like, right, you know when you were in school and it was just funny to draw dicks on everything?
I really like it.
That's what it looks like. It just looks like someone's just drawn a bunch of genitalia on it. It's awful. You've ruined it. For a team that's very good with liveries, I'm disappointed.
I really like the livery. I think it's really interesting. I think it's just...
What have they done? They've drawn some genitalia on it.
I know, and I love drawing dicks. Let me do one now.
No, okay, right.
I have a pen in my phone for this specific reason that I can do this.
There you go. You've just, right there, you've designed a brand new Formula One livery for the VCarb Formula One team. So there we go. What is this going to be? Talk shaft, isn't it? Is it?
Will.
Good. Okay. Right. Nice. Brilliant. I was waiting for a size joke in there, but it's not coming.
That's beneath me.
Is it? Okay.
I have more intelligent comedy than that.
All right. Let's on the subject of intelligence. Then let's move away from McLaren. So, fan art for this week.
Ooh.
Let's talk about some fan art. We'll get back to the analytical stuff later.
Yeah.
This is the point. This is really what people are here for, right? Now, you were telling me before that you were getting fed up with the AI generated fan art, right? There's less, if any, actually AI generated fan art in here, but there was a running theme, and it stems off the start of last episode, which of course was a particular event. To be fair, I think we started this episode with it as well. And apparently no, that's just me as the fat controller.
Of course.
There was that too. Yeah, there was that too. So thank you very much for that. There you go. That is you flying the controls into the World Trade Center.
I do like planes, and I do like playing War Thunder. So
okay, nice. They then found this is actually one of the best pieces of fan art that's not AI generated that we've ever had. There I am. So I do rate that.
Two sides of a coin. I
do rate that because the original
They've
photo.
actually done a good job.
Yeah, I know. I'm really impressed with that one because the original photo was me pointing at the word "fat" on a tube train.
I know that photo. That's really good.
Oh, the hairline in that is just tragic though. Jesus Christ. We're gonna move on because there's one more, and this is my favourite one of you as well. Because again, it's very cleverly done. That's you. That's you constructing a bomb strike on somewhere in the Middle East, probably.
It's done very well.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. The fan art this week has been top tier.
Yeah.
No AI and just pure cursed Photoshop.
I like it.
We rate it. And finally, of course, there's Talk Shaft with the World Trade Center back.
Good luck.
I'm not sure we'll sell that T-shirt if I'm honest, but
I mean, if we sell any T-shirts,
yeah, we've not sold a single T-shirt. I spent hours on the Talk Shift line, and no one has bought a thing. So
is it still up? Or
it's still up? Yeah.
Viewers, if you would like some Talk Shift merch, please buy some.
The most tragic one was when I first launched the merch store. I did it was for 100K, and I put out like an exclusive 100K. There'd be limited sales of it, and then like 2 people bought it. One of them was my friend. So yeah.
Yikes.
What can you do? Oh, and that was
that's an actual Talk Shaft.
That's an actual. I think we'll probably have to blur that out, but that's an actual Talk Shaft.
Can we get that sent in?
No, we can't get that sent in.
However, right next to me.
However, it wasn't the only Talkshaft dildo I received, because we got an email this week. Along with the fan art, we got another email.
Oh.
And that email read out as follows. It's from John Doe. So this person has literally probably made a new email just to email us.
Yep.
Which is commitment, quite frankly. Hello, Will. I hope this email finds you well. My name is John, and I work at the marketing department here at Nordic Tech. We specialise in tech that enhances one's sex life. I recently saw your podcast in which you describe a TalkShift branded dildo. I thought this would be a brilliant marketing opportunity for both your business and mine. So here's what I envision. We sell this product, made in Thailand by premium ladyboys, as a way to up your sex life. And as an extra incentive, and tax incentive, of course, we donate 20% of profits to charity of your choice. Or to a charity of your choice. I'm thinking a pro-Iran charity to support Soheb and his family in these trying times. Brilliant line, love that. Take a look at this mock-up I made and get back to me as soon as possible. So here's the second mock-up of a Talkshaft branded dildo.
Maybe we should have named the podcast Talkshaft.
We probably should.
We missed it.
We've missed a trick there.
Yeah.
We have. There are some PSs to go along with that.
Well.
The first PS. If this makes the podcast, hope you get a good laugh out of it. I just spent 30 minutes locked away in my room making this art with AI instead of hanging out with my family. So we've got some AI generated stuff in here. Then PSS. Will, I hope your weight loss journey is going well. Might I suggest Ozempic? No Ozempic for me just yet. Or are you already on it? No. If you already are, how the hell are you still bending that poor couch every time you sit down on it? I'll deadass buy you a sturdier couch if you lose 50 pounds.
You know what?
I'm quite close to 50 pounds now. I'm down 19 kilos from where I started.
Okay.
105 to 86.
John Doe, you've signed the contract.
That being said, there is then his third PS, PSSS. No, I won't. I'm poorer than Soheb's family in Iran. Good luck finding money for the funeral. So,
I think
thank you, John.
I think that's probably why no one's bought the merch, is because our viewers are very, very poor.
Mm-hmm.
But despite how poor you are,
that's good.
You can afford £1 a month for the Patreon.
This is an advert and a half. Our second tie away to the Patreon version. I know you're poor, but come on. That's going to get the viewers on side. Well done. Brilliant. Good. Okay. Shall we talk a little bit more about some F1 news stuff?
Yeah, because there actually is a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm. So where to start? I think Max Verstappen's probably not a bad place to start.
Have you seen the photo of him in the photo shoot in the press conference?
Oh, where everyone is surrounding him.
And he just looks like he really, really doesn't want to be there.
And it's all George Russell's fault as well, which is the best part of this entire story. Like, George has just caused this media shitstorm. And Mercedes are struggling with it.
It's not George that has caused it.
No,
really.
George came out and said, the reason I've not got a contract is because Merc are talking to Max Verstappen. So yes, George has definitely caused it. So don't try that with, he's not caused it. Yes, he definitely has. But the other thing that I find hilarious about this is Merc have a new livery this weekend. And of course, of all the weekends, I know it's for completely separate reasons, but the stars on the Merc are orange.
Yes, they're orange.
Oh, how good is... just the timing is impeccable on that.
I mean, I'm probably the 1500th person to make this joke, but they want the car to be faster, so they're trying to make it look like the McLaren.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, Merc could go well this weekend. It's meant to rain, potentially on Saturday and Sunday. I think that will be good.
Merc are kind of hard to predict because in this era, it used to be that whenever it was hot, they didn't perform well. But this year, they've not been doing too bad at the hot tracks.
Yeah, well, that being said, Austria was hot and they struggled there.
Yeah, but there's no correlation because there's been a hot summer in general in Europe so far, and they've been doing quite good at the hot European tracks.
Like what?
The very first race was really hot. I can't remember which one.
The very first race was in Melbourne, which is not in Europe.
Fuck off.
Where else? I can't wait. Where next? Canada? They were very good in Canada, weren't they? That's a great European country, isn't it? Oh, here we go. It's not just Soheb's wheel knowledge, it's just his knowledge in general that's fucked.
I know Canada is in Europe.
I can't wait. They were great in Saudi Arabia, weren't they? So that's a good European country as well.
F1 schedule.
I'm fact checking because every time you make a comment, the comments we get under here about, you just not being right. The first European race was what? Spain, wasn't it? Or no, it'd be Imola. It'll be Imola. So Imola 2025.
Was Imola hot? I can't remember.
Imola was pretty hot from what I remember.
Imola was hot, wasn't it?
Yeah. And where did they finish? Let's have a look. Race results for Imola. And Russell was 7th. Antonelli retired with an engine issue. So that's not a great start for you, Soheb, if I'm being honest.
What about Spain?
Spain, let's see how they did. Well, there's Monaco before that. We got Monaco. Monaco, neither driver in the top 10 after that was admittedly issues in qualifying for the pair of them. So we can let them off on that one. Then Spain, you've gone very quiet. That said Russell P4.
There we go. And Spain was hot.
Spain was hot.
There we go.
So that's 1 out of 3 at the moment.
Yeah, I said one of the European Grand Prix.
Then we get to Austria where they were, Russell was 30 seconds behind Hamilton in 4th and over a minute behind the leader.
So
he was 5th, but he was a minute behind the leader.
But even before that, in Saudi Arabia is...
Not in Europe, as we found out.
Yeah, it's not, is it? It's not in Europe.
No.
Trying to think. America?
Your intelligence has hit new levels. We could have put you in that McLaren section and you would have absolutely fit in.
Africa? It's close to Africa.
Okay, right.
Yeah, but they have actually been decent in the heat this year, but it's been inconsistent.
They haven't.
It's been inconsistent. Though. It's not been.
Russell has literally talked about it still being a problem. You're just completely wrong on this.
It's not been, okay, it's hot, we're slow. It's not been as simple as that. Whereas
it's not been as bad, maybe.
It used to be, it was hot, they were shit.
Yes.
Full stop.
Now they're slightly less shit, but they're still shit. It's still a problem. They've not solved it. They've literally admitted that they've not solved it in like the last week.
Ferrari have also been inconsistently shit as well.
Yes. We're not talking about Ferrari. We're talking about Mercedes.
Yeah, but they're both inconsistent. But
where is this going?
That being hot doesn't mean they're bad. That's all I wanted to say, Will.
Well, I think you're wrong. So we'll see.
Good for you.
I mean, Hamilton has topped FP1 and at least was topping FP2 as of the recording of this. I don't know whether that's finished. It probably would have finished now. Who has
I think FP2 started when we started.
Yeah, so FP2's probably wrapped up. It was Lando leading the way in FP2. Hamilton 3rd, Leclerc 2nd. Ferrari do look quick. So
and also, Tsunoda didn't take part in FP1 because Lindblad was in
Lindblad was in there, and then Liam Lawson told him to use his mirrors, which of course Liam Lawson would be good at doing, given he had to use them a lot in the first 2 races of the season.
Which is a bit bad. I'm going to fast forward a bit to my bold prediction that I predicted that he would be in the points for the first time.
Yeah, that is a good point. So. Yeah, there are GP predictions for the British Grand Prix. You said Tsunoda points. I said Williams top 5, which I'm actually, I don't know. I feel like could happen. If it's going to happen anywhere, this could be a good track for them.
I'm surprised you went Norris Piastri because Norris, I think
you went Norris Piastri.
Yeah, I know, but I think I rate Norris higher than you do.
I just think British home advantage. Home advantage always brings through a couple of tenths. And realistically, if McLaren are going to prioritise a driver this weekend, it's going to be Lando.
I don't think they're one to prioritise drivers, really.
I think this could be the one weekend where it's different. British team, I mean, technically not British team.
They didn't do it in Australia.
That's a separate argument. They didn't do it in Australia, but it wasn't as level, or at least as thought to be as level-headed back then. Like, Norris was their championship hopeful. It was get him a win. Whereas now... bit more even, bit more balanced.
Piastri is a championship hopeful right now.
He is a championship hopeful, but I think if they have the option, a bit like they did in Austria, when Norris was in the lead and he had the slow pit stop, they could have undercut him with Piastri, or overcut him with Piastri, I should say, the following lap. But they didn't do that. And they still prioritised Norris, and then, to be fair, they made up for it by giving Piastri a crap stop as well. But, yeah. And then, of course, Colapinto did the rest.
I think how the season's shaping up is very interesting. I think the new suspension they have is a reset for their form. It seems like Lando, this is what he was asking for, more feel. Was it the front that he was asking for?
Yeah, because he's got the new suspension, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The Piastri, I don't think he hadn't opted for in Austria. I don't know whether he's opted for it now. He didn't want it. He didn't want it. Yeah, exactly. He was quite happy. I think it's not an upgrade per se. it just makes
It's
the
driver
car
feel.
Yeah, it makes the car feel different. So essentially, they're running 2 different specs for the 2 different drivers, which is interesting in itself.
That's a very maybe Red Bull should do that.
Just 2 completely separate cars. One's an RB and one's a Red Bull, and then there you go. We're sorted.
I think this will be the. I mean, every race has different storylines playing out this year. It's really crazy.
It is. I mean, you were saying last night that our overall predictions are getting pretty stale because it's just Norris and Piastri in one particular order. Third, then we just always seemingly get wrong.
Third is anyone's guess.
It changes every weekend, and now I'm actually thinking I should have put Hamilton on there because he's been on the podium every race in the UK since 2013.
Before FP1, I was thinking, wait, maybe I should put Verstappen in there because they've been consistently quite good in the high speeds, where there's high speed corners.
Yeah, Suzuka, isn't it? Was the
Yeah,
main one,
Suzuka and Jeddah as well.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it looks like I can't terrible.
I think I actually, looking at FP1 and FP2, probably side more with your predictions than mine.
Leclerc,
Yeah, I can see a Leclerc podium.
But
And
I
Hamilton
can see
just
it.
crying away as he
don't
falls
know.
away again midway through the race with no tyres.
I think Norris, I think he's actually going to have a really strong mid-season. I think he's going to close down that gap.
It's too early for me to tell because I was going to make that video after Monaco. And I'm so glad I didn't in hindsight. I'm so glad I didn't. Austria was a switch in the right direction. But, yeah. I don't know. I need to see more. And the big thing, as you say, is consistency. We need to see that consistency from Lando.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point. Again, you have race weekends like in Monaco, which was executed more or less to perfection, where Piastri was the one struggling. Austria, I can't think of anything bar dipping his wheel in the gravel once that he did wrong, particularly over the race and over qualifying. It all went well.
Even FP2 and FP3.
Yeah, but we need to see that on a regular basis. That's why he's not leading the championship right now. He has, and I think you said before, does he have the highest ceiling at the moment? Potentially, but he can't reach it anywhere near as consistently as Piastri does.
Maybe the suspension is what he needed to do that.
Well, maybe so, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I will need to wait to the summer break before.
That's fair enough.
I have enough data to say, yeah, okay. Now we have a championship fight. And I think if Norris has got it back on, we've got a really exciting end to the season.
Shall we talk about the Austria race? Because that was a race. Oh my God.
It was so good.
It played out in like thirds for me. So the first third of the race was absolute cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And use that as a gift.
Yes. Brilliant.
It was genuinely absolute cinema. The first couple of laps, the race direction was absolutely horrible.
But I saw you text me about this. I was on a treadmill for the first couple of laps, which is not a lie, just so we're very, very clear. But yeah, what were you moaning
They were
about?
just focusing on like one car. They were doing just adverts for cars, essentially. They were just following a car around corners whilst there were actual battles going on the track.
Oh, I see. So right. So by race direction, you're talking about the actual camera angles as opposed to penalties. That's why I was getting confused. I was like, I don't see what was.
No, I was talking about like actual how we were watching the race.
Oh yeah, you see, I was just trying not to die and listening to the commentary in my ear. So I mean, there was very little for me to go off. But
that racing was so good between Lando and Oscar, and oh my, you'd love to see a fight for the lead. You love to see it. It's completely different. So it was very, very exciting seeing Piastri almost go into the back of Norris. That was wild. We're still so close,
waiting for that second moment. It's coming at some.
It's coming at some.
If
point.
It happens in Silverstone, Cops, Verstappen, Hamilton, but with Norris and Lando. Norris and Oscar.
I don't think they raced like that. But then the middle third was a little dull. Not much happened.
Yeah, it just sort of died away a bit, and
then the last
and then Colapinto ruined it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had the onslaught of the Argentinian fans this week who somehow managed to defend Colapinto, and apparently I'm the racist because I called him. Are you ready for this? I called him a maniac. Too far for the Argentinian crowd.
This is
Too
your
far.
British bias showing.
Yeah, clearly. British bias against an Australian driver, of course. Sure. Okay.
In the British team.
Yes. Okay, fine. In the British team. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. But Yeah, I don't know. That being said, have you heard what Crofty has said on? It was one of like the build up to the British Grand Prix. Do you remember when they had? I think it was McLaren again, actually, with the space hoppers, and Ricardo hits Norris in the face of the space hopper.
Yeah.
Well, this time it was rugby they were doing, and David Croft has said this.
Right, straight into the middle.
How many tries?
Say that again.
How many tries?
1.
No.
Seriously. Yeah, it's honest. It's like a contract with Alpine. You get 1 shot.
And Gasly's just sat there behind the camera going,
You know what, Crofty? Fair enough.
fair play, Crofty, fair play.
Shall we go back to Verstappen? Because we
Yes.
got a bit distracted. Do you think he'll go to Mercedes?
No. Which means he now will.
Do you think he'll take a gap year?
No, because he said he won't do that. That's the one thing he said he definitely won't do.
I don't
He will
think
be
so
in a
either.
car. I think he'll be
agree
in
with
Red
you.
Bull for one more year. Red Bull's going to be the one place you might want to dip out of because they've now lost Newey.
And they're building the engine for the first time as well.
Yeah. And it is sort of
It's
giving
not
very
just
big Honda
maintaining it,
vibes,
yeah.
this whole thing. But part of me does think, for the most part, and I'm thinking of people like Leclerc at Ferrari, where there were rumours he might go back in Canada, you stick out for 26. Because realistically, wherever you take as a gamble, and you're more likely to... What's that? I think I'm going to get this wrong, but do you remember there's that game show sort of question where you've got 3 doors, and you've got to pick a door that has a car behind it, and you pick one...
Naked attraction?
And it's not naked attraction, you idiot. You pick one, and they open a different door and show that that's not the option. And so there's 2 doors left, and it's sort of stick or twist. And I actually can't remember the answer to that question, whether you meant to stick with your door or not. But so this could be completely wrong. But I think you should stick with your team. That's the whole point.
I don't think any of the viewers will know what you're talking about.
Well, we'll cut this out in that case then. But I think you should stick for now. And then at the end of 2026, when realistically a lot more spots will be open anyway, places like Aston Martin could have a seat, for instance, which I think if Newey works his magic, that could be, and your competition is Lance Stroll, that could be an absolute beauty of a seat if you want a championship. I say you stick it out for 2026 where you are, and then work out once you know where the playing field actually sits for 2027.
The problem is that Red Bull I think they've lost basically everything that's made their team successful. They've lost Newey, they've lost Wheatley, they've lost a whole assortment of other high team personnel.
Which is why I was saying it's the one place where that might not apply, because they do actually look like they are up the shitter firmly.
Yeah, they have none of their ingredients that cause them to be in success. They have to build it back from scratch. And I don't see anyone that really excites me, like team personnel that really excites me at Red Bull right now.
Yeah.
Even their pit stops. Red Bull were known for their pit stops, and the pit stops are just mediocre. And somehow, I just want to say, Sauber's pit stops are unbelievable. What's going on?
Jonathan Wheatley, it's him. He is just like psychically controlling all of the pit crew
At once.
because I don't know why that's my motion for psychic, but it just looks like I'm sort of copping a feel on Gullop the Destroyer, quite frankly.
But no, I do think Red Bull, I don't think it is the place to be. I think the level of dominance they had in 2023, you could even argue that's the most dominant car ever.
Yeah, I think it is. But statistically, it is.
Yeah, but you go from that to, in a very, very short space of time, being behind everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Behind, or even like behind the other 3 top teams.
Yeah, it's a downfall.
Yeah,
it's going to be one of the biggest downfalls in F1 history, like similar to Ferrari.
you know, in
sort
the
of post Schumacher era.
in the last 3 races, Sauber has outscored Red Bull. That's true.
Red Bull, you've been outscored by that. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yikes, indeed.
I'm so annoyed with Sauber because I'm gonna. We'll let that pass by. I'm so annoyed with Sauber because they are coming to Goodwood in a couple of weeks, and I'm incredibly excited to be back at Goodwood. If anyone is at Goodwood and you spot me, come and say hello, because again, I could do with my ego getting. It's currently at the stratosphere after the last week. Put it even higher. I got recognised at the McLaren thing as well. I forgot to say, and they were looking out for you They called you Soheb, so they don't watch that much Talk Shift. But anyway, hats off to the guy I met at McLaren, by the way. Really nice guy, legend. Anyway, getting back to it, Sauber are coming to Goodwood, and they're bringing, I think it's their 2013 or 2011 car, the C32.
I don't reckon.
I think it's the 2013 car.
Is that the one
V8.
with the penis on the nose?
No, that's 2014.
That's 2014.
No, it's the last of the V8s.
Yeah.
Lovely looking car.
Lovely signed-in car.
Yeah. And they're decking it out in the modern day livery.
Oh, I hate when they do that. Do you remember when they put the McLaren 20? I think it was 2012 on the track, and they put the modern livery. Oh, stop.
Sometimes they look all right. But,
when Red Bull do it, it doesn't make much of a difference.
No, Red Bull ruin it even more because the glossy Red Bull liveries were beautiful.
Yeah, they were. That's true.
Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, that Chernobyl monstrosity of a livery is now going to be ruining that car.
It's a shame because Sauber has had some really, really good liveries in the past.
If anything, we're quite lucky because they're also bringing their first ever F1 car. Can you imagine if they decked it out on that? That might actually look quite cool because it's like a 1980s, 1990s sort of shape.
Yeah.
That could look a little bit different, but on a 2013 car,
yeah.
No.
Yikes.
No. Just no.
Yeah. Teams, stop it.
Good. Well done. I'm sure they'll listen to that. So nice one. We've been recording for over an hour.
Yep.
There's still a long way to go.
And we haven't even talked about Bottas rumours going to Alpine.
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned obviously Colapinto earlier. You only get one shot. And yeah, here we go. Bottas is the next in line. I kind of want to see it. I'm not going to lie.
Because I think Bottas, he's not the best in the midfield. I think his race ability isn't the best. But when he was in that Sauber, he was doing a good job, especially in the last year. He was doing a good job.
This is the man with 99 awareness. Do you know what I'm on about?
No.
Okay, so the F1 game, when they initially started putting out the driver ratings, like FIFA cards,
Yeah.
Valtteri Bottas had the highest awareness of anybody on the grid.
What has he done to earn that?
Exactly. This was the meme. And it wasn't like a one-off. For like multiple years, he had 99 awareness. And it was just complete with memes of him spinning and crashing. Like, yes, 99 awareness. Follow him with Hungary 2021. 99 awareness as he pummels through the entire field. But
I know. So
yeah. He was aware of the championship picture at that point, I guess. But anyway, I want to see him in the Alpine.
When Sauber replaced him with Hulkenberg, they did say that it opened up new setup windows because Hulkenberg's he could just describe the car in a completely different way, and it unlocked new setup options that weren't unlocked to them beforehand. So I think Bottas still has his downsides, but I think he'll be an upside in Colapinto. I think Colapinto, giving him one or two races of that's fine is okay, but I don't see Colapinto going anywhere. He's had
longer than Doohan now.
Yeah.
He's had longer than Doohan, which doesn't feel real. I feel like he's barely been here.
Yeah, I feel like he's been there for 3 races.
Yeah, probably because we've not seen him at all. At least, Doohan we saw quite a lot of when he was like wedged halfway into a barrier.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Doohan towards the end of his stint was actually he was starting to get
Gasly.
There. Yeah,
he finally outqualified Gasly, and then out you go. See you later, mate.
Outqualified Gasly. He was starting to put in more consistent race performances. I think, I think he would have been getting towards a good midfield driver, but Colapinto has not shown anything really.
No, it's just not been the same as what we saw at Williams. And just saying, I called it. Just to put it out there. So goodbye, viewers from Argentina. It was nice knowing you. Nice having you here.
You should get a new number plate.
Yeah, Colapinto is shit. SH1T. There we go. But
I would like Bottas as well. Actually, I think Bottas at Mercedes, he's not allowed to do the nude calendars. Shame on you, Toto. Let him do the nude calendars.
Would Alpine let him do nude calendars?
They're French.
They put a baguette down there or something, or a croissant.
The French they go out naked, and that's probably how they do their team meetings.
Just hop in, just like you see Flavio out there.
Yeah,
no
Flavio,
top on, nothing
Gasly.
On. Great.
Previously was Luca Di Maio. Bottas can invite them to the sauna,
Oh,
all
God.
naked, and do a team meeting there.
No. It would be entertaining. And yeah, you were mentioning the setup thing earlier. Well, I see your point on that. Bottas had been at that team for, 2, 3 years?
It was 3 years.
3 years. So naturally, he's going to have a way to drive, and Hulkenberg will have a different way to drive. So I think
I guess
it's just an idea that, or it's just the idea of a driver bringing in new ideas because he's come from a different background or driven for different teams. And again, I think Alpine will probably have some sort of benefit from getting a different perspective. I mean, to be fair, any different perspective seems to be what Alpine could do with right now, considering where they are, bottom of the table.
Also, they're going to have a Mercedes engine next year.
And that, again, is going to be massive help for Bottas.
Yeah, he knows that Mercedes engine like the back of his back of his hand.
It's a benefit both ways.
So yeah, he can get them very acclimatized to that.
Yeah.
So it does have quite a lot of benefits actually. I do like it, and a Bottas Gasly lineup is quite interesting as well.
I think it's far more exciting than people would give it credit for.
I think it'll be interesting because I think I'm one of the rare ones. I don't rate Gasly too highly. I think back in 2021 he was good.
2021 he was mega, and then after that he's just sort of carried that 2021 form on his back.
But that AlphaTauri team, which is now the RB team, they do make cars that aren't particularly hard to drive.
That's true. I mean, you look back at, 2023, they had the diabolical starts of the season.
Yeah.
The car was awful, and Gasly was
Horrible.
long gone by that point.
Yeah.
But you do look at his form from Alpine onwards, and there have been the occasional highlight. He had the podium in Zandvoort, which we were there for. He had the podium in Brazil. Yeah.
But he was still behind Ocon.
But again, Brazil is with the rain. It's a different matter. Yeah,
he's he's been over the last couple of years. He's been a bit of a forgettable driver.
Zandvoort was rain as well. Strategy. Yeah. So I agree with your assessment on that. I think he
Monza was a safety car.
Yeah, he is just sort of fading a little bit into irrelevancy.
Yeah,
a bit like Ocon is in Haas at the moment. I have to keep reminding myself that he's there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's been outperformed by Behrman.
Mm-hmm.
So
a rookie as well. So yeah.
I think Bottas will be stronger than him.
I think it would be a surprise, and I think that's what the Alpine team need right now in what is already such a tight midfield.
Well, that's one of the things is that it's rumored that Flavio doesn't know, or he doesn't know for certain what's wrong with the team, and he thinks that although the second driver is having a problem, he doesn't think that their main driver Gasly, he doesn't actually know. He's not confident that he's the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
So putting Bottas in, that's a confirmation,
yeah,
right? Not
is an assessment.
Not Colapinto. You have a clear marker. You know where Bottas is. He's a recognized figure in the paddock.
You know where Bottas is. It's very clear because you sort of see him like, right, I've got to look away again because he's probably got something out that you don't want to see. But
I want to see.
Of course you do.
I will get Bottas. If you'd like to go into the sauna, I will do it naked.
Let's wrap up the podcast then. Because I value my evening, and this is already longer than we normally go.
Yep.
We missed this segment last week, so you got a reprieve. We're going to make up for it this week. So
go on.
Let's roll the intro.
What random Asian does Soheb look like?
Penis. Penis.
He's been doing that for the entirety of that intro. So that's us demonetized. Thank you, pal. Yeah, he's just
you put this over what we do anyway.
All you're doing is you're reading out what's on the side of the VCarb for this weekend. Yeah. So anyway,
no, me and the sauna with Bottas.
Right. Anyway, I said we were going to make up for it. We haven't got just one suggestion for the random Asian this week. We haven't got 2 suggestions. We haven't got 3 suggestions. We've got 3,000 suggestions, all thanks to our Discord. It is also incredibly racist, but there you go. There's 3,000 Asians that apparently look like Soheb. And it got me and a few others thinking about, it's almost like, yo, where's Wally? So we thought we'd come up with a new book called Where's Soheb? And there you are. What do you think of that, pal?
You know what? I want one.
If we reach episode 100.
To my imaginary girlfriend that you think I have. I'll
Apparently
send
he's
it to her.
talking to someone, ladies and gentlemen. This man is now taken.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whereas I am free, I'm just saying, I'm on the market again. Again, if you are...
So you're our mysterious friend that's told us this. I'm going on holiday with him in 3 weeks. I'm definitely going to have a word with him.
Well, hey, anyway, I'm just looking across and I'm seeing a big flashing battery sign on that camera over there, which is not a good sign. So we're going to wrap things up. Big thank you for watching Talk Shift. If you want to watch more, head over to Patreon, head over to members, preferably Patreon because we get more money over there. And for £1 a month, you can watch the Patreon additional extras version where there's all sorts of stuff. It was surprisingly analytical this week.
Yeah.
We actually talked about things. We were actually sensible, which is weird. We don't do that very often. But there's plenty of jokes and probably some more cancelable stuff in there compared to the normal episode. That being said, we started with 9/11 again this week. We need to stop doing that.
Yeah, we should. If you do make it to this part, that's quite a lot of viewing. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Really
and
do
like and
appreciate
subscribe.
it. Like and subscribe. Have a good one, everybody.